So I got into it for the first time ever with somebody at the gym, and it was such a shock to me. Like, and also, hey, it's not a younger generation person. It's an older man. He was like 60 something, 65 years old. And I went up to a bench. It was empty. Yeah, there was a water bottle laying next to it, but people leave water bottles laying around all the time, not using the equipment. And so I did my set, and I get done with my set, and he goes, so you're just going to steal my bench? And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was joking because I was so taken aback by it. And I said, no, man, I'm sorry. Were you using this? And he goes, well, of fucking course I was using it. I left my fucking water bottle right there, didn't I? I said, dude, I didn't know that was your water bottle. People leave water bottles around all the time. And I was like, you're making a pretty big deal about this for no reason. And then he goes, well, you know, I'm too old for this shit. And I said, too old for what? Like, I'm giving you your bench back. I'm wiping it down. I'm cleaning it off for him. He's like, you know, maybe 20 years ago, you wouldn't be talking like this to me. And I would have handled you 20 years ago. It's like, dude, you're getting way too aggressive over this. I'm not interested in fighting you over this. Like, but you know, I don't think you could have taken me 20 years ago. I don't think you could take me today. I don't think you could take, and he's like, maybe even 10 years ago. It's like, I don't care, man. Here's your bench. I'm moving on. So it's just funny that the first person that I get into it with the gym and everybody's all upset about our age and younger, he was the one starting shit. Like anywhere else, he probably would have gotten beat up. I'm too nice. I'm not going to beat up an old man. Anyways, get out there, get your workouts done. I had a great back and arm day. I love y'all. Talk to you soon. So right here, we're starting our workout out with some pull-ups. I did this actually after a little bit of a warm-up. They have you do some reverse grip pull-downs, and you do like 15 to 20 just to get warmed up at a very light weight. I actually zoomed the camera out here too because I'm trying not to take up too much room in the gym. The gym I'm at is a little bit more crowded now. So you do 8 to 12 reps on pull-ups, and then you do 2 sets. Then you go to back to the close grip, reverse grip pull downs, and again 8 to 12 reps, 2 sets. So I try to go heavy and I try to go to failure. I mean, sometimes I'll be the first person to admit sometimes I don't always go to failure. I feel like I'm at failure, but you know, that's why it's nice to have a training partner. It's nice to have people pushing you a little bit because sometimes you could get a couple more reps if you just were there and you had that kind of person watching you. But that was my first set. All of these are the first set too. I think it's easier to kind of control the weight and have a little bit better form, and I'm not kind of flailing all over the place. And I'm showing the proper way to do the lifts. Sometimes when I am on my second set, I'm like really trying to push it to failure. Maybe I'll do a couple videos of that where I'm doing my last set and just showing you guys that, like, you know, sometimes form isn't perfect, but you do your best to keep as good a form as possible and stretch. As you can see, I'm doing these. I'm trying to stretch the back, and it fatigued me really fast. I don't even think I got 8 reps. I don't think I was even close. Then we did some seated rows, and I'm trying to stretch forward and then squeeze back and kind of squeeze my back together at the back. It's not easy. Like I'm telling you, when you're stretching and you're squeezing, weight that you kind of throw around and feel really comfortable with becomes really heavy really fast. So that's why I love following the guys that I follow on social media, like the Vanilla Gorilla and other kind of fitness influencers that kind of preach that whole going to failure and that whole stretch of the muscle and the contraction. Like that's been a big, huge positive for me with my training is making sure that I'm really having that mind-muscle connection when I'm performing movements and actually really focusing on stretching at the top of the motion and, you know, squeezing at the bottom of the motion, or whatever you call it, eccentric and concentric motion, that kind of stuff. Then we did some biceps. I'm still feeling some pain in the right elbow when I'm kind of doing flexing with biceps. So I kind of started off really light right here to kind of warm up. And that's why it's like I think I'm only like doing 20s or 25s or something like that. But that's there to get warmed up and get ready for the rest of the sets. Then we moved into, shortly after that, some incline dumbbell curls. This is where the guy thought I stole his bench apparently, but clearly, you know, this was like 45, 50 seconds, so don't know what he was doing the whole time I had this bench. But anyways, it was a great workout, even despite the gentleman being kind of a jerk. You know, just be kind to everybody and polite. That's all you need to do.